Today we are talking all about manifestation, and how I have manifested my goals, and actually how I'm in the process of manifesting my dream car. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking all about manifestation, and how I have manifested my goals, and actually how I'm in the process of manifesting my dream car. If you have not been following me on Instagram or Facebook, yes, one of my biggest goals right now is to manifest. I was about to say finance. Gosh, sorry y'all, I'm in sales, I'm in real estate. Please excuse me. But my biggest goal right now is to manifest my dream car, which is a G-Wagen G63, right? All white with red interior. This Pirelli wheels. No, I'm kidding. But yes, my goal is to manifest my dream car. And I've done this before. I've manifested a lot. We are all unconsciously manifesting our lives every moment, and I want to debunk some myths. I want to really get into a lot of the stigma that comes around with the term manifesting, because I feel like a lot of people really just run away from, and they quickly judge things they don't understand, because that's human nature sometimes. But with that being said, if you guys are interested in learning more about manifestation and my personal experiences with manifesting, and me currently manifesting my dream car, then stick around. All right, guys. So manifestation is a term. It's becoming more trendy these days, but for me personally, it's a term that doesn't entail anything that involves witchcraft. It doesn't involve anything that goes against religious beliefs such as Christianity, or it doesn't take anything from those that believe in God or anything, because personally I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ, and it in no way, shape, or form takes away from that, and people fail to realize that manifestation is just a term for something for a role that we play in our lives personally. With that being said, I believe manifestation and the idea and the philosophy has been around since the beginning of time, actually before organized religion. And us as human beings, it is, to me, the part that we play in bringing things into fruition in our lives. Because you'll have people that say, oh, you're taking that away from God. God gave you that. God made that be. And I wholeheartedly agree. But as individuals, we all play a role, a vital role as co-creators in our lives, in co-creation with God or the universe, whatever you want to use as far as the term. And I'm not about to argue with anybody. So let me preface this video with that. So if you want to stir up some issues, if you want to voice your opinion, if you want to disagree with what I'm saying or argue, please find the exit button on this video. Thank you so very much. Because this is not a place to argue. I'm simply voicing my very entitled opinion that I have. So with that being said, manifestation is something that we all unconsciously do. We all play a role mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in what partakes in our lives, period. Otherwise, for the people who say, oh, manifestation just means you feel like you did that on your own, or you're taking that away from God. So you're telling me you play no part in the thought, or the action or anything in your life. So there's no difference between you and the person that's sleeping out on the street corner today. It's God, he blesses and he has favor over people. I wholeheartedly agree and acknowledge that. But God also plants seeds in us. God also, even in the Bible, it says, there's verses that break down what manifestation is. People just get scared of the term. If it was called anything else, I feel like people might not feel that way. But I know I consciously, with my belief system and my knowledge and my spirituality and my values and everything that's going on subconsciously up here, I play a huge role in co-creating, like I said. And I love the term co-creating, because I believe we are co-creators of our life. We're not the sole creator. Yes, God does play a part, or the universe, or whatever term you want to use. I use them interchangeably, honestly, because God is all. He's the Alpha and Omega, is he not? So he is the universe, and the universe is him. But that's neither here nor there. For the sake of this video, I don't want to make this too long, because this could be something that's like 24 hours as far as a video goes. If I got into the nitty-gritty of the spirituality piece, the scientific piece, because obviously science backs all of this, and even down to the point where atoms and energy influence everything that's going on. Just like the law of gravity is a law, it's truth. It's truth. You can't argue with gravity. If I pick up this pen and I let it go, it's going to fall to the ground. That's a law of gravity. You can't argue that. It's science, right? No matter what I believe in, no matter what, it's a law. And I feel like manifestation is a law. You can't argue with it. It can be proven that this up here in our internal, our non-physical selves, is the center point, is the pivotal point of attraction. Is the power that's within us, literally and figuratively. It's the power. So with that being said, I feel like manifestation has been a big piece of my life, and it's something I've always done because I've always consciously believed and had faith within myself that what I wanted I could bring into fruition. And ever since I was younger, I've always had that confidence, and that's why I've been able to accomplish so much. When I was younger, I don't know, I kind of felt like I stuck out, and I was unique in a certain way. And don't get me wrong, all kids are unique, but the way that I found myself unique is that I just had such a belief system when it came to myself. Anytime I set my mind on anything, I knew it. I had it. Anything I wanted to achieve, I knew it. I knew I could do it if I put my mind to it. Because like I said, the mind is the centerpiece. It's the focal point of everything. And I've always had that mentality. So even now, with me being 28, I feel like everything that I have in life, which I'm not completely where I want to be, but everything is unfolding in such a beautiful way, even in this current moment. But I feel like everything that my current circumstances, I've manifested from, and not even just material things like my luxury car or my luxury apartment or my business that's growing and thriving, or my executive position that I'm in a 6-figure role, or anything that is material, but just my well-being, my sound mind, my body and my physique, my relationships, everything is being manifested from the bad to the good. Because a lot of people only want to talk about the good. I manifested, like I said, the dream car, or I manifested the love of my life, or I manifested this $50,000, or I manifested this new job that I wanted. Manifestation comes in all forms. We are constantly attracting due to the law of attraction, which is a law. It's truth, period. You are what you attract. So I feel like you attract negative things as well. And any of the negative experiences that I've dealt with, struggled with, or even dealing with now is things that I've attracted a lot of times unconsciously. When it comes to negative things, you're unconsciously, nobody just thinks, oh, well, I want to have a car accident today. Or I want to be negative in my bank account today. Or I want to stub my toe when I get out of bed. It's not conscious, it's unconscious because of the thoughts that we're thinking and the feelings that we're feeling, right? So for me, I've always been a positive person, always have, and I'm trying to get back to that bubbly, positive individual that I once was when I was like 7 years old, when I was like 10 years old, when I was like 13 years old. Because as children, we're very impressionable, and even science shows that you are just an unconscious being pretty much until the age of 7. Everything is unconscious, and 7 is on average the age where you start to become more conscious in the decisions you make, right? Right, so that's why it's such an element of innocence when you're younger, because society hasn't, in your experience, hasn't burned you or it hasn't molded you, you know, and that's why it's so critical to care for children, and so many people want to shelter children, because once you hit a certain age, your experience, but you become your experience essentially. And that's why so many adults running around with all these childhood traumas and all this toxicity, because they dealt with it and they haven't handled it in their adulthood. That's a conversation for another day. Right? So I digress. Back to the matter at hand. Manifesting is something we unconsciously do, because your unconscious mind, it never sleeps. It runs 24/7. Your conscious mind cuts off. It shuts off when you sleep. But unconsciously, that's what your dreams are. It's your subconscious. So you are subconsciously awake 24/7, and your subconscious is what's responsible for 95% of your reality. Most people think it's the conscious mind, it's the logic mind, but it's really the subconscious. It's what you believe to be true. It's your values, right? It's your mental, your spirituality. It's that. And that's what really controls and influences your actions on the day-to-day, who you talk to, what you say, when you do it, what you do. And that's why a lot of people are very stagnant, because just mentally in their subconscious, they just don't believe that they can achieve what they can. And I believe that's the first step of manifestation. Just like the saying goes, you ask, believe, and receive. That term is those terms are in the Bible, right? You have not because you ask not. That's in the Bible. Ask, believe, and receive. That's the law of attraction. That's manifestation in its purest form, all right? So many people don't believe. Many people don't believe. They truly don't believe, because they have limits and they have caps on themselves. And it's unconscious a lot of times. It comes from childhood, like I said. It comes from seeing things. It comes from becoming a product of your environment. And that's one thing that I believe I didn't become, you know, because I always strived for more. I always saw more for myself. And even now, I'm still trying to peel back the limiting beliefs that I have. Because trust me, this is a forever process. It's evergreen. You're going to continue to have to work on yourself mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And this is something I'm doing now more than ever. But to get into the dream car, right? Dream car, which is the G series, right? It's the G-Wagon. I currently have a Mercedes-Benz, right? So I'm Benz gang to the fullest. I have a C-Class Benz. She's super nice, white, black interior, leather seats, litty, period. And I love her. Her name is Angel, but I'm ready for the G-Class. I'm ready for the G-Wagon, and I put a timestamp on it. So I'm very specific with my goals, and that's how you have to be when it comes to manifestation. Specificity. Being specific essentially is how you really speak to the universe, speak to God, and attract what you want, right? because you are clear, you're crystal clear on what it is that you want. You're leaving no room for chance, right? So you know, down to the color, down to the model, down to the to the texture, to the everything. You gotta touch, see, feel, taste, everything, right? So with when it comes to my G-Wagon, I've actually, in the past 3 weeks, I've test driven 2, or I test drove 1, but I went to go feel around on the first model of the G-Wagon. It's so expensive and it's brand new, I couldn't drive it. Went to the dealership, Mercedes-Benz. Couldn't drive it, but I'm going to show you guys some clips of me going to visit the G-Wagon, and I fell in love. So you can see that, yeah.
I don't, with these stores, I don't know if they would soft close, because you gotta really slam these doors.
Yeah, what I'm saying, it's just the type of truck, it's like a rough terrain.
Yeah.
She is beautiful.
So I just completed my visit to Mercedes-Benz St. Louis. I was helped by Lisa, who was amazing, and it was an awesome experience overall. I didn't technically get to test drive it, and after the conversation, the detailed conversation we had about the dynamics of the car, the rarity of it, this was actually a 2021, it's never been driven at all. These cars literally stay on the market like 2 weeks at most. It's crazy. They go so fast because the supply is so little and the demand is so high. And people actually do, it's very big arbitrage market for these as well. So actually, after we got down to the nitty gritty about how quality these cars are, it made sense why it isn't really plausible for people to just come in and just test drive it like this is a Honda dealership. So it made sense. It made perfect sense. Unless you're just a serious buyer, you're actually, today I might drive this off the lot. So it made sense. It really did. So I got very clear on everything, and it made it so much realer once I actually sat in the car, touched the steering wheel, got to ask the consultant about, about the model, how long they've had it, the condition of it. We went over pricing, because I was feeding my subconscious like, this is real. Because that's the thing about the subconscious. The subconscious doesn't know the difference between reality and what's real and what's not. It does not know. Your conscious mind knows. And your conscious mind oftentimes tries to trump your subconscious by saying, girl, this ain't real. Girl, you ain't finna get this G-Wagon. Girl, you finna have to work 1,000,001 hours to afford this. But your subconscious doesn't know that. Your subconscious is that 7-year-old, remember? The subconscious is like, yes, I love this car. I'm so glad I got it. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Oh my gosh, come take me to the car wash. That is your subconscious. And that's what you need to be speaking to, because your subconscious is going to bring it to fruition. So anyways, I touched it, I felt it, I smelt it, I lived it, right? A couple weeks later, my consultant at Mercedes-Benz, she called me back for the actual model I love, which is the G63. I played around with the G550 before. So I actually got to test drive the second model. It was beautiful though. I got the chance to drive it, put it on the road, which made it even more realer, which really is what evoked more feeling and more emotion and a stronger desire for it, which is how you speed up the manifestation process. You speed up the law of attraction process when you feel that it is already yours. I've already received it as mine. So that's the point I'm trying to make. And the more I see it, the more I talk about it, the more I tell myself that it is mine, the faster I'm attracting it. I see this every day. I have it on my vision board. I wake up and see it every morning, along with Drake's face. He's on my vision board as well, manifesting Drake. I'll keep y'all posted. But yes, I see it every day. I go through this booklet, and I tell myself, yes, I'm so glad I got my G-Wagon finally. This AMG is beautiful. Thinking positive thoughts and just attracting it into my life, right? So as far as my subconscious is concerned, it's already mine, and it's in the driveway right now, right? I just ain't. It's in his way. It's on his way. Period. So making it real, making it plain. Vision is Visualizing what you want is pivotal. It is the turning point for everything. You have to visualize here. I'm very big on writing things down, putting things in black and white from pen to paper, because there is a huge connection between your subconscious and writing things out, and subconscious and visualizing your goal. That's why vision boards are so important, right? Being able to wake up and see what it is, repetition, reinforcement, all the time, constantly. That's why I'm very big when it comes to my phones. Well, I'm recording on one of my phones, but my other phone is in the room. My wallpapers on my phone. My wallpaper on my phone is a G-Wagon. It's a white G-Wagon. So as I go through my phone, which is 50,000 times a day, we unlock our devices, and you may not actually pay attention to your wallpaper most of the time. We don't, but subconsciously, that is something that you're seeing, you know, throughout the day, constantly. So your wallpaper is probably one of the most prevalent visions and prevalent pieces that you need to pay very much attention to. Just like the feed on your Instagram, your Facebook, who you follow, what you listen to, what you read, what you watch as far as TV. That's why me personally, I don't watch the news these days, because it's so negative. And media proves that, you know, negativity is what attracts eyeballs, is what attracts attention. So oftentimes you'll notice a lot of the things that you see on the news are negative. All right, somebody got murdered, this person got robbed, this bank got burglarized, or there was a shooting at school, or there was a mass earthquake that killed 20 people. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. If it's on a need to know, trust me, I'm gonna find out one way or another. But a lot of this stuff I don't want to know. Just tell me the weather for the day. Tell me the forecast. Give me some good news, you know. Tell me y'all just gave a scholarship out. Let me know that the graduation rate went up. Let me know, you know, I don't want to hear all that negative BS. I don't want to hear it. And it's funny because I'll tell you guys a story. If you guys don't know, I actually traveled and lived overseas for a little bit. I lived in Barcelona, Spain. This was about 5 years ago. During my undergrad, I did study abroad. All right, so I lived in Barcelona, and for the longest time, and I feel like I manifested this as well, because a few years prior, I didn't really just consciously say, oh, I want to move to Spain, or I want to go out of the country, but I was always curious to travel. I love traveling, and you know, I would always see pictures and videos of, you know, Europe and overseas. It was beautiful to me. And when I got into undergrad, I really can't even tell you why I got involved with the study abroad office, but I did nonetheless. And I ended up becoming part of the exchange program. So this was for students that were out of the States internationally. They were coming to St. Louis. So we were the students they paired the international exchange students with to kind of be like a buddy on campus, right? To help them kind of guide them into the normal American, you know, get them accustomed to, you know, campus, typical life, party life, introduce them to people. That's basically what I was. So I had an exchange student. His name was Alejandro. He's from Mexico. And I loved him, absolutely loved him. We hung out. I got really close with one of my good friends. She lives in Germany now. She's from Britain. And I got cool with a lot of girls, you know, one from Austria, Sweden, and we went to, you know, different events together. We hung out. We had such a blast that semester. I loved it. And it opened my mind to different cultures, and, you know, just seeing them, oh, you can leave your country, go to another country, into another culture, and get credit for school while doing it, and have fun and meet lifelong friends. So that opened that door for me. And then about a year later, I ended up doing it, and it was a lot of hoops I had to jump through and things I had to do to get prepared. I was nervous, I was scared shitless. And it's so funny because inadvertently, like, my grandmother, she was like, girl, why are you going overseas? Those people are crazy. They don't like Americans. You see the stuff they doing overseas. You don't need to be going off into that. You need to stay home. And you know, you'll get that like pushback from people and from society and from even mentally. I had fears like that. Like, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if I don't have money? Or what if I get lost? Or what if I get taken? Because that was, I think Taken probably came out around that time as well. So it was a lot of negative reinforcement kind of coming at me. And that's what life is. It's like you want to go to the next level. You want to step out of your comfort zone, but you'll have all these opposing forces trying to push you back into that box. And that's kind of what it was for me. But that was honestly the best experience of my life. I would suggest it and recommend it to anybody. And it changed me and grew me as a person, individual, even to this day. And I feel like I manifested that situation, but that really sheds light on several different things, that you can't let fears hold you back, because fears are just an illusion, right? Fear is just an illusion. It's just us creating stories in our subconscious, in our mind. And a lot of times it's really our conscious mind that is doing it. This is your conscious mind that's been like, girl, aren't they bombing people over there? Girl, aren't they raping and trafficking humans over there? That's my conscious mind. Especially if I actually sat and watched the news all the time, I probably would have been like, you know what? I just saw some on the news the other day. And what does the news do? It portrays all of the negative. It highlights all the negative. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's not about the story that you're seeing. It's about really the message you're taking from it and enforcing into your subconscious. I hope that makes sense, right? It's like a movie screen at the movie theater. You choose what movie you want to watch in life, right? You choose it. You choose it. And it's coming from a camera in the back that's reflecting onto the screen, right? Y'all ever been into an old movie theater? It's really coming from the back, right? And we're seeing the picture that's being played, right? So it's all about the subconscious that's in the back, and we see that. And we see that, and we take what we want, right? We take what we want from that. But that's what becomes our life, the subconscious. That's what we put on the screen. But nonetheless, that was just an experience I wanted to share with you guys because it felt appropriate. But visualizing is key. And in that situation, it became real for me because I was with my friends. I could see them. I could hear them. I was talking to them. These were people I had just met, and they were from all different ends of the earth, and I loved them. I was like, you know what? I want to do this. I've always wanted to travel. I've always loved Europe. I'm an international business major, right? Because I was realizing how globalized the world was becoming. So I was being proactive and wanting to get involved in that aspect. So nonetheless, it required me to go overseas anyways, right? You see how it kind of unfolded? You see how things unfolded for me? Because of thoughts. All started here. And turned out to be one of the best experiences ever. And God kept me. He kept me safe, and he allowed me to enjoy that. And I give all of that to God, right? I give all of that to God. So yes, like I said, I could talk about this topic all day, and I'm kind of scattered with my thoughts, but I know this is a video I've been promising to put out for the longest. But even with my current car, I manifested that subconsciously because I didn't actually go in or intend on actually getting a Mercedes-Benz. It kind of came to me because I think I attracted it. I believe I attracted it. I attracted that unconsciously. Unlike this, I'm deliberately, consciously attracting this because this is what I want and desire. The Mercedes-Benz, when I went to the dealership that day, I wasn't planning on leaving with a car, let alone a Mercedes-Benz. I had a Jeep Liberty at the time, and I had just hit about 100,000 miles on it, right? So I had learned that once a car hits 100,000 miles, the value of it depreciates by quite a bit. That may be neither here nor there, but that's what I thought. So anywho, I was like, okay, you know, let me check out my options at this point. I had the car for a year. It was over, you know, 100,000 miles. I went to a dealership where I got the car, and you know, it was like talking to the guy who I buy my cars from, and I was like, yeah, what kind of options do I have? You know, I'm thinking about trading this in. You know, I had just got it fixed because I think I had been in an accident prior, but I had got it fixed, and I was like, yeah, let me try to get rid of this while, you know, I still got some value. Anywho, was there for several hours. He was pulling my credit. We were talking over my finances. He was showing me different options and cars, and we glanced at the Mercedes-Benz for a second, but whole time I'm thinking in my head like, I can't afford that, you know? Or I didn't even think I was leaving with a car because my credit score, it wasn't that great at the time. So I'm like, oh well, we'll see what I get. When he came back and he pulled that, this was hours later, he pulled up in a Mercedes-Benz, honey. Tints, all white. It was a 2016, and this was back in when did I get the car? The beginning of 2020. And I'm like, he was like, this is yours. You want this? This is yours. I'm like, are you serious? He came back with the amount that I would pay as far as my car note, which was double what my current car note at the time was. So I was already kind of apprehensive, like, damn, how the fuck am I gonna make this work? Like, you know, that's a big increase in a car note, and not to mention my car insurance was gonna go up dramatically as well. So I'm like, damn, my monthly payment's gonna go up by at least $400 or $500, you know, so how am I gonna make that work? And I just trusted it, you know. I put the faith in myself. I'm like, girl, you deserve this. You can afford this. Stop it. It's time to stop playing small. And I put that in my head after attracting the car to me. After God said, that is for you, sis. You're getting it. I said, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna just be in the moment. I'm gonna let it happen, period. I'll figure out the rest later. And that's the kind of faith. You gotta have the faith of just a mustard seed. That's in the Bible. You gotta have just a little bit of faith. And you gotta have a grand amount of faith. But I was like, you know what? I'll be all right, girl, please. And here I am over a year later. I haven't been late on a payment once. I'm riding around comfortably, and now I'm manifesting the next level, the big dog. So it's just interesting how life unfolds and how everything happens. And I want you guys to know that faith, I feel like faith is the basis of everything. Believing. And you'll see these terms being used interchangeably and thrown out there. But I believe at the end of the day, the best correlation to the term manifestation is just faith and believing. And it's believing on a subconscious level. So a lot of times sometimes it doesn't even have to be conscious. Like, I believe I can get this G-Wagon, which I'm consciously believing. But just like the Mercedes-Benz, I didn't just say, oh, I want a Mercedes-Benz, or I can't wait till I get a Mercedes-Benz. Like this, I have been talking about for a while. I never verbally or even physically wrote that down, but subconsciously, I was manifesting it. Subconsciously, because my biggest thing, I love luxury, right? And I love luxury lifestyles. So I feel like I manifested that with the help, I co-created it. Of course, God played a huge role in that, in blessing me with that. But I feel like I sent that message to him, because remember, you have to ask, believe, and receive. And asking is not always consciously. Asking is in your thoughts, and that's how we get some of the negative things in our lives, because we're not consciously asking for them. Oops. Sorry. We're not consciously asking for negative things to happen, like the example I made before. Nobody consciously says, I want to fall down the steps. Nobody consciously says, I want to get into a car accident. Nobody says, Lord, please bless this. Lord, please allow me to become overweight. Lord, please allow me to get this this horrible cancer. Nobody asks for negative things to happen. It just happens because we subconsciously over time attract it into our lives, right? Because I feel like the base point of our lives as humans, everything is positive. Everything, you're destined for greatness. We all are. We live in an abundant society, abundant world, abundant universe. You can have everything. There's nothing you can't do, be, or have. And I feel like once you wholeheartedly believe that and get to that point, then you will be welcoming so much into your life. So much. But with that being said, I am going to end with that, and I know I'm going to hate this later because I feel like I'm gonna rewatch this and be like, damn, I left this part out. But that'll just make for a part 2. I hope this spoke to you guys. I hope this resonated with you guys. If you felt this video, please like it, subscribe, share. I appreciate the love. I welcome comments in the box, even though this is a very this can be a touchy subject, and I know it is a subject that a lot of people don't like to welcome. But I feel like if you come in with an open mind, I'm not trying to change anybody's mind, so let's start with that. Sis, I'm not trying to change your mind, brother. I'm not trying to change your mind. This is my truth, right? This is what I believe. And I know I share this belief with a lot of people, and I know a lot of people differ on their beliefs. And that's what makes this a beautiful, beautiful world, because everybody has their own, opinion. Everybody has their own beliefs and values. And when I watch videos of people who and I actually don't indulge in videos where, there's a blatant disagreement, but sometimes I do, because it's interesting to hear, and sometimes it's an open opportunity for learning. But I don't attack people. I'm not about attacking anybody or judging anybody, because at the end of the day, who am I? I'm a human just like you. You know what I mean? I'm learning just like you. Nobody's perfect. Nobody knows everything. Nobody ever will, right? So take things with a grain of salt. But this is my truth. And this is what I choose to believe. And it's my life. So I choose to live it, and you live yours, sis, brother, whomever. But I appreciate you guys, and I welcome you to watch more videos on my channel, and I appreciate you guys sticking around for this long because this was a pretty lengthy video. This is probably the longest video I've recorded, and I just appreciate you for being here, because you could have been anywhere virtually, but you decided to be here, and I appreciate that. But with that being said, make sure you guys check out my socials down below. Follow me on Instagram. I probably post there more than anything. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more videos like this. If you guys liked it, make sure you comment and let me know that you would like more content like this. If you dislike it, I don't know what to tell you. If it don't apply, let it fly. But I will see you guys in the next video, and I appreciate you.